Support for NPR podcasts comes from T. Rowe Price, managing investments for the long term with a consistent, disciplined approach. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence at troweprice.com.
Hello and welcome to Car Talk from National Public Radio with us, Click and Clack, the Tappet brothers. We're broadcasting this week from the Department of Evolutionary Minivan Psychology at Car Talk Plaza.
Yeah, there's a guy who writes about cars for the L.A. Times. His name is Dan Neal, and we met him once.
Yeah, at the car show.
Yeah, at the car show in Detroit, I think. He just became a new father, and that obviously got him thinking about minivans.
Yes, and I guess he was trying to explain why women are increasingly reluctant to drive minivans, and here's what he says. Apparently, it all goes back to the savannah. According to evolutionary psychology, a female's value as a potential mate was signaled by her youth, which signaled fertility, and her availability. A minivan, however, sends out the opposite signals, that the driver is older, old enough to already have had offspring, and spoken for, i.e. off the reproductive market, so to speak. In a culture where women spend billions to create the illusion of youth, it's no wonder minivans have been fighting a market headwind.
But here's where it gets interesting. What about men, Dan says? Out on the savannah, the reproductively desirable male was older, like Sean Connery, of higher rank and status within the tribe, and commanding more of its wealth.
I see where this is going.
You get it? A female's innate programming tends to favor males with the potential to invest in her offspring. Therefore, Dan concludes, the 2008 Chrysler Town and Country Limited just might be the sexiest vehicle a man could ever drive.
Yeah, right.
Now, wait. Let me draw a line under that.
Go ahead.
This 2.5-ton pachyderm with window shades and the Cartoon Network on Sirius Satellite TV is sexier than a Ferrari.
Yeah, keep telling yourself that, dude. You know what makes a minivan sexier? It's the empty juice boxes, right?
Yeah, and the smell of spilled milk, pre or post-digested. What potential mate could resist that?
You hit the nail on the head, Dan. Just you keep thinking. That's what you're good at. Anyway, if you have a theory about your car or a question for us, give us a call. The number is 888-CAR-TALK. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, guys. This is Zona from Fisher, Minnesota.
Sona?
Zona with a Z.
Zona.
Zona.
Mm-hmm.
Z-O-N-A?
That's right.
Is that a nickname? Is that a shortened name? Is it a?
Unfortunately, no. It is my given name.
Your given name. And who gave it?
My father.
And where did he get it?
Well, he claims he got it from the Catholic name book of girls, but I really think what happened is my mother swore and he misunderstood her.
And where are you from, Zona?
Fisher, Minnesota.
Minnesota. Oh, yes, I recognize the accent now.
Oh, Minnesota. Zona.
Maybe he was at a football game and he said, they made it to the end, Zona. I don't know. Anyway, what can we do for you, Zona?
Well, my problem is I've got a 2003 Mitsubishi Eclipse GS.
Uh-huh.
And I'm having problems with it overheating. But it only overheats in Burger King drive-thrus. It doesn't overheat in the bank drive-thru or going down the road or in traffic, just in the Burger King drive-thrus.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Winter, summer, does it make any difference?
Well, it did it once this summer, but it's been primarily, I noticed it on the way home. It was really cold and I had no heat.
You had no heat?
I had no heat. So I took it in. Actually, I've had it in to the dealership where I bought it 3 times now. Once they repaired the radiator, and then last week I had it in, and they tightened up the clamps again.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That doesn't sound good.
So when's the most recent time it happened?
This morning, as a matter of fact.
This morning. You were at Burger King.
Yes, I was going
Did
through
you
the
place a special order? Because they really do get upset, you know.
No, I ordered the same thing I always order, and there was no one in front of me.
Really?
Really.
Yeah, so it wasn't you weren't there for 20 minutes.
No, I was in and out of there in under 3 minutes.
You were in and out of there.
And during that time, your temperature gauge went all the way up?
Oh, goodness, no, not all the way up, because I've been told if it does that, shut it off.
So the engine was obviously hot when you got to Burger King.
Right. I have about a 25-mile commute.
So you drove the first 22 and a half miles.
Right.
You went to Burger King. The engine was really hot from driving on the highway. Not overheating. I mean, engines do get hot by their nature.
Okay.
You know.
And the other times that you've had trouble with the dial going up, has it been at the same Burger King?
No, in fact, it's been after the car's been sitting for 4 or 5 hours, and then when I go to lunch.
And how far do you drive for lunch?
Oh, it's maybe 2 miles.
2 miles, and it overheats in those 2 miles.
Mm-hmm. And that's a completely different Burger King, and it doesn't matter if I'm in the
You go to Burger King twice a day?
No, it's just if I go out for lunch, it's usually where I go.
Yeah. So you drive from home to Burger King to work to Burger King. You don't stop there ever for dinner.
No.
Just checking.
She could.
and the fact that they replaced the radiator, obviously, I mean, my first...
Well, they didn't replace it. They repaired it.
Oh, whatever. Okay. They sensed there was a leak in it.
Right.
And I sense you have a leak as well, but I'm guessing that the leak that they have been unable to find by, number one, repairing the radiator, and then, number two, tightening the clamps, is probably something like a cracked head gasket. So you're losing coolant, but they can't find where you're losing
where
it
it's
from.
going.
Right, because there's nothing under my car.
Right.
We know where
I
it's going.
can't smell it in the cab.
Right. We think it's going out the tailpipe.
Yeah.
Oh.
So if you were to take this thing tomorrow and have them look at it, they would determine that it's low on coolant. They'd fill it up, and then you wouldn't have the problem at Burger King, maybe for days and days and days at a time.
Well, I carry a jug of antifreeze with me.
Oh.
All right. So when you leave work tonight, the engine will have cooled off.
Mm-hmm.
You fill up the radiator with your jug of antifreeze. Tomorrow, when you stop at Burger King, this won't happen.
It won't happen. Right.
Right. Because
you know that because you've done it before.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Oh, I think you're done for.
Yeah.
I think you're losing coolant a little bit at a time, and you need to have them to do a head gasket test.
Yeah. It's not going to go away by itself.
Okay.
Yeah. So they need to do a test where they check for the presence of combustion gases in the coolant, and I'm guessing they'll find that.
Okay. Combustion gases in the coolant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lordy, I think they just want to sell me a new car.
They might. Good luck.
Thanks, guys.
Let us know you make
Let
out.
us know how you make out is
I
right.
sure will.
Take care.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye. By the way, did you notice I switched to tea? I no longer drink coffee when we do the show. I'm switched to tea. I think it makes me sound a bit more erudite, don't you think? Is it working?
You know, as you know, I have never developed a taste for tea. Coffee is the only way to go.
Well, you know,
the stronger the coffee, the better.
Really?
That's why I'm so sharp and bright whenever we
well,
come.
I switched from coffee because my teeth were starting to turn black. Other than that, I like coffee too. But I'm going to try tea for a while and see if it has any effect on my intellect.
Okay.
And if it does, I'm making you drink it. Anyway, 888 Talk. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Jared from Las Vegas.
Jared?
Jared?
It's like Jared with a T.
Yeah.
Got it.
Oh, with a T.
Yeah.
From Las Vegas.
Jarrot?
Jarreret.
Oh, all right. Got it.
T-double-T. What kind of a name is that?
Well,
I think my mom named me after a romance novel writer.
And
like that.
romance novel writers have to have extra letters in their names.
Oh, yeah?
It differentiates them. I think maybe they get paid by the letter. I don't know. Anyway, you're from Las Vegas, Jared?
Well, I'm from Utah, but I'm down here in Las Vegas.
Oh, cool.
So what's
up?
I've got a 2001 Dodge Dakota sport pickup.
Uh-huh.
And for about the past 4 months, every time I come to work and go over the speed bumps in the parking lot, I can hear this squeaking noise kind of as it bounces up and down, kind of a...
Yeah.
And I can't figure out what it might be.
Front or back?
It's probably in the front, yeah.
But how big are these speed bumps in comparison to the bumps you typically encounter?
Well, if I'm going over any other bumps, I'm probably going at a speed, and I can't hear it, but probably about 5 inches high.
And you're going over them. You're going slowly over these things because you got the
Correct.
message that you're supposed to go slowly.
Right.
And you get
Just like that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you're correct in assuming that if you were driving at 50 miles an hour and you hit a bump of that size, you might not hear it because it could get drowned out by the road noise.
Right.
But the suspension might not move as far. You know, when you're going over a speed bump at low speed, you get a lot of travel in the control arms and the ball joints and all that. And I'm guessing it's just a control arm bushing that's dried out.
So is it something I can just get lubed? Or, I mean, I was afraid I'd have to replace, I don't know, maybe the shocks or struts.
Well, you're at a big advantage here because you have a pickup truck. And what you can do, we've done this at the shop with my brother. We stick him under the car with
stop pushing it up and down
with his football helmet on. And we have a couple of hefty guys. We got a couple of those, real hefty, big eaters at the shop. And they push on the bumper.
Uh-huh.
And as you push on the bumper, you're simulating what the suspension is doing when you're hitting those speed bumps. And usually you can reproduce the noise.
And they roll me around until I say, it's right here.
And the reason for the football helmet is sometimes we push a little bit too far, and, and we dent an oil pan. And then the customer gets really ticked off. So we don't want to damage the underside of the car, and that's why Tommy wears that football helmet. But anyway,
so that's what you have to do.
And you will find out, I'm guessing, that it's one of the control arm bushings that's making this noise because you're making it travel a greater distance.
Okay.
And when and if you do find it, you might be able to spray some penetrating oil in there and get the noise to go away.
Okay,
I'm
so,
betting on that.
Get a football helmet for my wife and have her get in the car.
Get a football helmet for your wife, exactly.
You got the picture.
And what also helps is as a listening device, and usually a small length of tubing. Like something you could buy in a hardware store, like 1/4-inch diameter rubber tubing. And you could use it as a stethoscope. You stick one end in your ear. And fortunately, football helmets have those ear holes, So you can go right in there and then have somebody pushing the bumper, and you'll hear the noise. It'll be easy.
Well, see, that's why it's good to have my wife do it, because she's not good at listening. So.
Okay. So she's all right. You're in trouble.
You're in trouble, man.
See you later, man.
Thanks, sir.
Right, bye-bye.
Even I knew that.
888-CAR-TALK. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Trina from Flora, Illinois.
Hi, Trina.
How are you?
Flora, Illinois.
Yes, about 5.5 hours south of Chicago, 2 hours east of St. Louis.
Oh, okay.
So we're kind of in the middle of corn country.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
So do you have a vehicle that runs on ethanol?
No, I don't.
You planning to get one?
I may. I'm pretty environmentally conscious. So.
Good.
Well, because you could probably go out at night and steal enough corn to get you to work every day.
Right. I have a Toyota Corolla.
Uh-huh.
It's a 2007. It has about 43,000 miles on it. And I spilled my purse in my car, and a lot of change went down into the console where the emergency brake is. Should I be worried?
Well, the good thing is if you ever need any change, you'll know where to find it.
Well, but I can't get to it.
Yeah.
That's a lot of miles for 1 year.
I know.
What
drive.
do you do?
I am a social worker. I travel between homes for developmentally disabled adults.
Oh, so you're driving all the time.
Yes, my last car had 293,000 miles on it.
Wow, what was that?
What kind of a car was that?
It was a Corolla.
It was an 06.
No, it was a 98. So
a 98, and you put how many miles on it?
293.
That's pretty good.
Jeez, you must have the sorest butt.
I know. My dogs are barking and my cheeks are chirping by the end of the day.
Jeez, so you take your dogs with you?
No, I meant my feet.
Oh, your feet. Oh, your dogs.
Those dogs.
Oh,
yes. And I did take my dog, but she passed away this last month. So I'm looking for a new stray to be my traveling.
Well, Tommy's available. Anyway.
What's the question?
Oh, the change spilling down.
Oh, the change.
So it went into that area where the handbrake comes up with it looks like a little brush there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's unlikely that it's going to interfere with anything.
Okay.
You could take that piece of the console off. There are just a bunch of screws. If you push the two seats as far forward as they can go,
okay,
the front seats, I think you'll see a couple of screws that hold that thing into the tunnel. And then if you push the seats back, you may see a couple of other screws, and you may lift up that thing enough. You don't have to actually remove it to get in there and flush out all those coins.
Oh, cool.
And it's probably easiest if you do it with a vacuum cleaner.
Okay. All right. Well, I can do that.
And you'll know when you got them because you'll hear them going through the hose.
Right.
You have no idea how many you dropped, though, huh?
Well, it was a lot of money, but some of it landed on the floor, and my car is not the cleanest. So
Well, stick a flashlight in where the e-brake handle protrudes from the console.
Okay.
And
And
then
then when you look underneath, you have some light.
Okay.
yeah, and then suck them up with a vacuum cleaner.
All right.
But they're not going to hurt anything. And in other words, they're not going to get into the engine or the transmission or the wheels or any of that stuff.
And they're
Okay.
not going to interfere with the brake either.
Mechanism.
I suppose
Okay.
the worst that could happen is one could get in and prevent you from releasing the handbrake, but that's a really remote possibility.
Oh, I don't want that to happen.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah, and when you trade the car in, I mean, you can advertise that there's a bonus that goes along with this
Right.
car.
A lottery.
There's like $1,000 hidden somewhere.
Oh, no, I'm certain it wasn't that much.
Yeah, right.
See
I'm
you,
a
trader.
social worker. Bye-bye.
Take
Good
care.
luck.
Bye.
Thanks.
All right. Hey, do you remember last week's puzzler?
Last week's puzzler.
I'll take that as a not if your life depended on it.
That's probably right.
Yeah, I
What
figured.
one? Give me a hint. Come on. What was it about?
Well, it was about a man who buys a shirt with a bogus $20 bill.
So you could say that this is from your bogus puzzler series.
Oh, no.
I love it.
I prefer the sartorial series, please. And we'll be back with the answer and more of your car questions in just a minute, so please stay tuned.
When I get lucky, gonna buy me a fishtail Cadillac car. Yes, man, when I get lucky, gonna buy me a fishtail Cadillac car. And I'm gonna ride by all you girls, just like I don't know who you are. Well, I'm gonna shine like the rising sun. Your chicks think you're hinky, but I'm gonna show you how it's done. When I get lucky and get that fishtail Cadillac car, I'm gonna ride by all you girls, just like I don't know who you are.
And even though the little drummer boy stops playing and reaches for his taser whenever he hears us say it, this is NPR, National Public Radio.
Hey, if you find yourself thinking, this show gets worse every time I hear it, why not check out some classic shows from our archives, like when we used to be good?
When was that?
It's just a figure of speech,
You can download any show from the Car Talk archives at cartalk.com. Just click where it says listen to the show.
Hi, we're back. You're listening to Car Talk with us, Click and Clack, the Tappet brothers, and we're here to talk about cars, car repair, and, of course, the answer to last week's puzzler. And this was sent in by a fellow named Joe Pish, though I had to embellish it, but just a bit. And even with that, I really don't think could have made it complicated or obfuscated enough.
Really?
It was pretty easy. Anyway, it went like this. A man went into a store to buy a shirt. Shirts happened to be on sale that day, and they were $12. The man handed the clerk a $20 bill, and it was the first sale of the day, and the clerk couldn't make change. So he took that 20 and went to the diner next door, where he asked the diner owner for 21s. The diner owner opened the till, and after a few seconds, he said, geez, if I give you 21s, I'll have only 2 left.
Mm-hmm.
A customer sitting by himself at the counter and sucking down some greasy eggs volunteered to pay the $4 for his breakfast, so the diner owner was able to give the 21s to the clerk in exchange for the $20 bill.
Yeah.
You with me?
Yeah, I'm with it.
The clerk returned to his store where he gave the customer his $8 change and, of course, the $12 shirt. Of course, while he was gone, the customer stole 3 neckties, 5 pairs of socks, and a trench coat. But that's another story. Anyway, later that day, the diner owner came to the clerk and said, hey, that 20 from this morning, it's counterfeit.
Oh.
Oh, really? Yeah, instead of Andrew Jackson's picture, it's got Michael Jackson's picture. The clerk apologized profusely and handed over 2 good $10 bills. Then he tore up that bogus 20. Now, if the store paid $6.75 for that shirt, how much money was lost and by whom?
Yeah.
Well, see, I mean, I had to throw in the customer and all that. And,
Sure.
But the customer's a red herring. And, in fact, so is the diner owner. I mean, he gave up 20 good ones.
Oh, yeah, but he got it back.
But he got it back. Exactly.
Yeah. So he didn't lose anything.
He didn't lose anything. The customer, well, he had those eggs. We don't know. We don't know. He might have lost his lunch later on. But the thief made off with $8, right, in change, and a shirt which the store had paid $6.75 for.
Yeah.
So $14.75 was lost, and the store lost all of it.
Yeah.
Now, you could argue that the store lost $20 if you wanted to, because if they were able to sell the shirt for the retail price of $12, they no longer have the shirt in inventory. Had they been able to sell the shirt for $12, right, they would have lost, in fact, $20 by his theft of the shirt.
Yeah, no, but
my
I
answer
like your answer.
is $14.75, and
with
I'm
it.
sticking with it. Now, do we have a winner?
I like it.
You do, huh?
The winner this week.
What do you hear this week's?
The winner this week is Paul Brogger from Tenino, Washington. And for having his answer selected at random from among the heap of correct answers that we got, Paul is going to get a $26 gift certificate to the Shameless Commerce Division at CarTalk.com, with which you can get any one of our famous Car Talk CD collections, which are described in detail on our website.
And, of course, you could refoist on a relative this holiday season.
Right.
And, by the way, our parking services people would like you to know that they are still giving away free Car Talk Plaza parking permits with any order.
Yeah, and that permit allows you to park at any Car Talk Plaza parking facility 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
If you can find a Car Talk Plaza parking facility.
And if you do, make sure you let us know, because I've got a glove box full of tickets from trying to park in Harvard Square.
Anyway, we have a new puzzle coming up, so stay tuned. Or if you have a question about your car, we can take a crack at that right now. Give us a call. We're at 888-CAR-TALK. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Virginia calling from Cleveland, Ohio.
Hi, Virginia. How are you?
Hi.
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Not
Do
bad.
you have a nickname? They call you
They call me Ginny.
Ginny. All right.
Yep.
All right.
May we call you Ginny?
You sure can.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, oh, my friends call me Ginny, but you two bozos.
You guys are not my friends.
So what's up, Ginny?
I have a 98 Volkswagen Beetle that's making a noise, which if you're able to hear it, I'm driving it right this minute.
Really?
And it's sort of a high-pitched single note, probably high C, maybe a D above middle C.
It happens as you're driving along?
Yep.
Does it happen if you stop, or you have to be moving?
Have to be moving. It does stop when I put on the brakes or when I pull on the emergency brake.
Oh, that's a bad sign. It sounds like you have a stuck brake.
Well, you would think I'd have a stuck brake.
Or
but
you have a brake that's worn out, and the sound is coming from something called the wear sensor.
the what sensor?
Where? Like, where is this?
W-H-E-R-E.
No.
Where the heck is this noise coming from?
No, the W-E-A-R sensor.
The wear sensor.
The wear sensor. Every braking system, pretty much, has some kind of a little piece of metal that's designed to make this annoying, constant noise when there it is. I heard it.
You heard it? Great.
I can hear
think
it.
that's a C or a D above middle C.
What,
I don't know.
Did you move that phone around?
No, it just sort of, it comes in and out.
Oh, it sounds like Morse. Wait a minute. It sounds like Morse code. I'm getting dits,
Yeah, it's
dits
going
and dots.
beep, beep, beep.
Wait a minute. It says, Ginny, you need
Brakes.
Yeah, the wear sensor is just telling you that the business part of the brake pads is worn down enough so that eventually they're going to start digging into the disc rotors.
Well, so what about the guys that I've taken it to who said that my brakes are fine and that I just have this stray chunk of rust that is going around, and if I blow it off with a high-powered hose, it should fix it?
No, I think you should
They're
blow
wrong.
these guys off, because have they heard the noise?
Yeah. They heard the noise. They claim they heard the noise, and they described this sort of elaborate configuration of a chunk of rust fitting into a groove.
No, then
Well,
why aren't
I
all
mean-
folks? I don't like it. I'm going to go back to my first suggestion that it, in fact, is not the wear sensor, but it's a slightly sticky caliper. Because when the caliper is stuck on and doesn't release completely, it's tantamount to your driving along with your foot resting on the brake pedal, and you can put enough pressure on the hydraulic system to make a vibration occur between the brake pad and the caliper.
How long have you had this vehicle?
Since 1998.
Oh, really? And
Yeah.
have you recently or ever replaced brakes anywhere?
I don't remember. I'll be honest with you.
You don't remember.
But
That's
these
true.
these guys obviously have looked at the brakes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and they said the brakes were fine.
Well, and when you park at night, do you always set the handbrake?
No, I rarely set the handbrake. I usually just leave it in gear.
But you can make it go away if you apply the handbrake slightly.
You betcha.
Yeah, geez.
I don't believe these guys.
No, I believe that they've missed the fact that you have a caliper that's sticking.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and that noise is going to drive you crazy. It's already driving me crazy.
I think it's affecting my memory. That's why I can't remember if I ever had the brake service,
Yeah.
right?
Maybe and pretty soon you're going to start thinking like my brother. That's what did it to him. So
And are you now driving around talking on the damn phone?
Yeah, I'm trying.
well, she had to for the purpose of this call. We don't, as
it's
you
science.
know, Ginny, we don't condone speaking and driving at the same time. But
Especially speaking to stupid guys like us.
but we'll make an exception in this case.
Strictly diagnostic.
Well, I think if they put it on the lift while it's doing it, it's clearly doing it a lot, they ought to be able to spin each of the wheels and figure out where the noise is coming from. I'm guessing it's coming from one of the back wheels, because that's where the emergency brake is. And then they need to take everything apart and find out what's sticking and what isn't, and they're going to figure it out. It isn't rocket science.
Okay.
See you,
I'll
Jenny.
tell them you said so.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Hey, by the way, in our never-ending quest for perfection here at Car Talk Plaza, we have once again reopened the case of the plural car model names puzzler.
You're taking it heavy on this one, man.
It's brutal. It's unbelievable.
This is Mango Tree 2.
No, it's worse than Mango Tree 2. Well, to remind people, we had a puzzler a few weeks ago in which we asked people to name the only 3 car model names in history that were plural nouns.
Yeah.
And our answers were the Acura Integra, the Nissan Maxima, and the Kia Spectra, right?
Huh.
Done deal.
There were only 3, huh?
Fat chance. We got like a bazillion emails from people saying, you dose. You missed a bunch of these things. So we went on the air and we did what? A correction. It was necessary. I think we added the Lumina, the Impala.
I remember.
The Optima.
Yeah.
And a few others, and I figured that was it, right?
Let me guess. That wasn't it.
No such luck. Apparently, we have a few thousand people out there who, like my brother, have nothing to do all day. So they've been on the internet looking for plural car names for no other reason than to what? Embarrass me.
Well, when you paint a big target on yourself, how can you blame them?
I guess I can't. Anyway, we got a few more additions and one deletion. And these are plural car model names.
Yeah.
You got, right?
Yeah.
Now, the problem with a lot of these is if you look in the dictionary, they have optional plurals. For example, the Mercury Lynx, if you look it up in the dictionary, the plural of lynx is lynx or lynxes. But I suppose lynx counts because it's one of the acceptable plurals. So here are the other names that our listeners have submitted.
These are plural names.
These are plural names.
Yeah.
The Chevy Cheyenne. Okay. The Mazda Navajo. See, it could be Navajos, but Navajo is acceptable, right?
Yeah.
Jeep Comanche. Mercury Marquis. That's like the rendezvous, right? The French got us again. The Pontiac Grand Prix, they got us again. The Bentley Brooklands. I never heard of that one.
Neither I know.
They wouldn't let you drive one. The Audi Fox.
Fox?
Well, that could be Foxes, but it's...
Look at those 3 Fox over there.
Exactly.
You jerk, they're foxes.
The Isuzu Gemini,
I like that one.
Plymouth Barracuda.
Yeah.
The Volkswagen Touareg. What is a Touareg?
Nobody knows.
The GMC Sierra. The Citroën Deux Chevaux. I guess that's a
can't mess with
no-brainer,
that.
right? And here's a couple I really question myself. The Ford 500. Right? It's and the Chrysler 300.
Oh,
that's kind of bogus, isn't
Yeah.
it? How about the Audi 100? How about the Audi 90? I mean, come on. This is endless.
Yeah.
And there's one more questionable one, the Town and Country. Town and Country is a plural name? I don't know.
Oh, man.
But we do have a subtraction, the Integra, which I had said was the plural of integer.
You know, as you were doing the puzzler, I questioned that one, and I said to myself, it is?
Well, why didn't you say anything? You could have saved me untold emails and public humiliation.
What fun would that be?
Well, it turns out, I guess, that integra is the feminine of the adjective integer, which means whole, as in idiota integra, which means like complete idiot. But it's not plural.
Right, because if we're talking about the plural of integer, it's integers, not integra.
Well, not in Latin.
Well, we're not in Latvia.
Anyway, look, this is the last time I'm going to bring this up. The rest of you guys can fight this out on our website. But if you want to talk about your car, whatever its model name is, the number is 888-CAR-TALK. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Rob from Oregon City, Oregon. How you doing?
Hi,
How you
Rob.
doing?
We're doing pretty well. What's happening, man?
Oh, I got a 97 Civic. About a month or so ago, I started having this weird noise when I start my car and start driving it away. It's got a clutch. When it's cold and I let out in first or second gear, it makes this sound kind of like, kind of this, and it usually goes away after it gets warm. But just this last
In June?
No. No. Well, yeah, maybe. Now I'm kind of getting another sound that I'm not even sure is related. It's this kind of high, when I'm going up hills, because I'm in a hilly country, giving it the gas, and it's kind of going,
How many miles on this vehicle?
130,000.
Same clutch?
Yeah.
Maybe not for long.
If it's the same clutch, it certainly sounds like you need another one.
Okay, so that's the whole clutch, huh?
Well,
it could
I'm
be,
guessing.
Let's go back. When you you say when you first start off, you get this. Make the first noise again, Rob?
Kind of a long
Ooh.
Yeah.
And it sounds like it's coming from the front?
Oh, yeah. As soon as I'm letting out the clutch, I can hear it, and it sounds like it's rotating, kind of. So.
Yeah. So that to me, that sounds like the clutch release bearing.
Okay.
Okay. Now the other noise, you're already in high gear, climbing a hill.
Yeah.
And your foot is clearly not on the clutch.
Right.
And you get this other noise, which is a whirring noise.
It still sounds like it's going around, like it's moving. So it's kind of even higher than that.
Do you happen to be aware of where the clutch pedal is when it engages the clutch? I.e., when
from the dead stop.
In other words, your foot is all the way on the floor.
Yeah.
And you're taking off from a dead stop. How far off the floor does your foot have to be before the car starts moving?
Wait, can we guess first?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm going to guess your foot's in the back seat someplace.
Exactly.
or very close to the top of the
way
travel.
up.
Well, actually, I would say since I'm on hills, I have to let it out a little slow often. So it's as soon as I start engaging close to the floor, it starts making that noise a little bit.
It starts making. Well, I think the think the noises all may be related. They may be the clutch release bearing making the noise all the time.
I was hoping for a fan belt.
Well, it could be, but
we'd have to go a bit to make that stretch.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, the other piece that you added, that it makes the noise going up a hill.
Yeah.
Accelerating even after the engine's warmed up doesn't seem to be the belt.
Okay.
I mean, look just to be on the safe side, tighten the belt.
Okay.
It can't hurt.
It's not going to make any difference, though.
So my other question is I've gotten a couple of estimates just in case, and
how much?
Should I go with the Honda clutch or an aftermarket? Does it matter?
Well, it depends on what you plan to do with the car and how much the difference is between the two estimates.
A couple $100.
And the Honda clutch, that estimate's from the Honda dealer?
Actually, it's my Honda dude who's, it's between like 700 and 400 or 500, So.
All right, so
he's a Honda dude.
For 500, he'll put an aftermarket clutch in.
Yeah.
And for 700, he'll put the bona fide, factory-approved Honda clutch in.
Yeah, and I want to run it till it's, past 200,000.
Then
so
go for the Honda clutch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not to take anything away from the aftermarket clutches, some of which are rebuilt, and I've never been a big fan of rebuilds, but there are some good ones out there.
Yeah.
But even some of the replacements that aren't rebuilds, it's just, in my mind, don't quite measure up to the factory stuff. We've never, ever had a problem with a factory clutch, ever.
Okay.
So your Honda dude looked at it, and he agreed it's the clutch?
No, I described it, and he said, looks like maybe a clutch. And
Sounds like boat payment to me, baby.
Absolutely.
Maybe 2 boat payments if you put that factory clutch in there. Yeah, well, have him tighten the belt first. You might get lucky.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Take
Good
care.
luck.
Bye. All right, it's time for us to take another little break.
And on the outside chance that NPR's programming people let us come back on the air and finish the show, what is coming up after the break?
Well, the usual. We'll botch some more car questions and have a brand new puzzler.
Something else from your sartorial series?
No, this is from the Cloak and Dagger series, actually.
Oh, cool. Stay tuned for that. We'll be back in a minute, we hope.
I got the split-level ranch, I got the kids in school, the wife in the country club, the credit cards too. Keeping all the bills paid in full, more or less, making steady progress on the ladder of success. I'm doing all right, but just one loose end. I got this unfinished business to attend. I want to tear up the pavement in the middle of the night, blowing the doors off every other car in sight. Even though I got 100 other things to buy, I want a hot rod before I die. I want a hot rod before I die. Wind it to the red line, shift it on the fly. Oh Lord, don't pass me by. I want a hot rod before I die. I want a hot rod before I die.
And even though editors at Ripley's Believe It or Not look at each other and say, nah, whenever they hear us say it, this is NPR, National Public Radio. We're back. You're listening to Car Talk with us, Click and Clack, the Tappet brothers, and we're here to talk about what? Cars, car repair, but right now, the new puzzler.
Yeah, I can hardly
and this
wait.
came in from a fellow named Michael Wortman, and I think I mentioned it was from the Cloak and Dagger series, or more appropriately, the Lock and Key series.
Yeah.
Which I just started today, and I had to add a few things to it, but here it is, basically.
Go ahead.
Unchanged. Imagine you have a friend who lives in Russia, where the KGB spies on everyone and everything, right?
Yeah.
And you want to send a valuable object to this friend. So you have a box which is more than large enough to contain the object. And you have several locks with keys. Now this box, I suppose we could call it a strong box, has a lock ring which is more than large enough to have a padlock attached to it. Those kinds of, hasps, I guess, that, In fact, it's large enough to accommodate, if you wanted to put on it, several locks.
Uh-huh, gotcha.
You with me?
Yeah.
But your friend does not have the key to any lock that you have. Now, you can't send the key in the mail because the KGB will intercept it. Right?
Yeah.
So, you can't send the key in an unlocked box. You got to you can't not lock the box.
No,
because the object is very valuable.
But you could drive to his house.
No, you're here, and he's in Russia.
All right.
So you have to send it through the mail. You can't hand deliver it.
Yeah.
You want to be able to lock it so that your friend
can
open it, but they can't.
Wow.
Okay. So the question is, how would you do it? Now, if you think you know the answer,
I like it.
Cut it into the underside of a DeWalt DW746X heavy-duty 10-inch woodworker's table saw with 30-inch rails and a 10-inch 30-tooth blade, carbide, I'm sure, miter gauge, precision rip fence, cast iron trunnion, and a generous assortment of Band-Aids and prosthetic limbs. At least fingers.
Yeah.
And send it to Puzzler Tower, Car Talk Plaza, Box 3500, Harvard Square, Cambridge.
Our fair city.
Matt 02238.
Or, of course, you can email us your answer from cartalk.com.
But right now, if you have a car question for us, we're at 888-CAR-TALK. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk.
Hi, this is Denise. I'm in Bowling Green, Ohio.
Hi, Denise.
Oh.
What's happening?
Is your brother the nephew?
Well, we're buried in snow over here, and my problem is about the temperature in my car.
Uh-huh.
So I have the automatic temperature control, so you're just supposed to put it on the temperature, and then your car gets you comfortable quickly.
Yeah, it gets to that temperature, right.
Yeah, well, my dilemma is that my husband and I disagree on this.
Of course.
Of course. And so I think that when I get in the car, I should crank it up to 90 because then the car will think that it's farther away from my ultimate goal. So it will work harder to get me to my goal than otherwise. Well, my husband thinks that if I set it to 72, hit auto, and leave it alone, that I will be just as comfortable in the same amount of time.
So he thinks you should set it to the temperature that you ultimately want it to be.
Right.
And you think by setting it to 90... you will get there faster because the little guys with the shovels who are shoveling the coal into the furnace are working harder.
Right, because I'm farther away from my goal.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But see, the little guys who are shoveling the coal, they don't know what that is set at, and they don't care.
They don't.
All it will do is it will shut it off when they get there, wherever you tell it to get. But it doesn't get there any faster.
Right. When you set it for 72, it's trying to get to 90. But when it gets to 72, it just shuts off.
If I'm getting in the car and it is at 72, that my temperature says 72,
yes,
then it's just blowing a little bit. So then if I crank it up to 90, then it starts blowing harder.
Right, it's blowing harder, but it's blowing cold air harder.
No.
The fan gives you the impression that those guys are in there shoveling the coal harder, but all it's doing is blowing cold air in your face at a greater velocity than it would if you had it set low. But I don't think the car is going to warm up any faster. I'm sure we're going to get at least 4,500 emails about this, but I don't think the car interior is going to warm up any faster if you set that thing for 90. But if it makes you feel good, Denise. Yeah, now I have a sense.
Between you and us, Denise.
I have a.
Let's not tell your husband. But he's right.
Yeah, but I have a feeling, Denise, that you're a tough nut to crack here. Even with both of us, in addition to your husband, ganged up against you, you're not relenting. Is that true?
I never give in.
Well, here's
what
what
are we
you
going to do about that?
Take 2 days where the ambient temperature is exactly the same. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need a what do you call those? A stopwatch.
Yeah.
Okay. You're gonna need a thermometer. Mm-hmm. So let's say you go out tomorrow morning and the temperature is 20 degrees, just to give an example, and you set it to 90, and you can either drive the car or do whatever you want, and notice how long it takes for it to get to 72. And then you can do an experiment on the next day that it's 20, and you set it to 72 instead of 90, and see if it takes longer for the car to reach 72.
I'll do it just to prove that he's wrong and I'm right.
You are a tough nut. You are.
All right, and we'll publish the results.
Whoa.
And who knows? You may have a career in climate control. See you, Denise.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm afraid of her.
And I think she's going to fudge the results.
Yeah.
I don't think we can win.
All right. Do you know what time it is?
Time to string your park bench with Christmas lights and mistletoe?
No. It's time to play Stump the Chumps. This is the part of the show where we dig up a caller from a previous show to see if he or she took our advice.
And if so, when the body cast is coming off. So who's our lucky contestant this week?
It's Craig from Windham, New Hampshire. Remember Craig?
You mean from like 2 weeks ago? That Craig?
Yeah, the same guy.
Oh, okay.
He had just bought a Honda minivan from a used car dealer, and even though he heard a strange whining noise, he didn't have it checked out by anybody, and he bought it anyway.
What a dope. So this noise you only get when you're in motion?
When you're in motion, but only when I press the accelerator.
And as soon as you take your foot off, the noise goes away.
Yes.
But it won't do it. You cannot get it to do it in any way, shape, or form unless you're in motion.
Correct.
So if you sit there in neutral and step on the gas pedal, you don't hear it.
I haven't tried that.
Oh, so you haven't tried that?
Well, this is important.
Well, let's look at the easy stuff.
Wait,
it could be.
Is the car right there?
It is.
Well, run out and try it.
Right now?
Yeah, we'll put you on. We'll put you on hold. We'll talk to 4 or 5 other people while you're doing this, and then you'll come back and we'll talk.
Sure.
All right.
I could do that.
So what you're going to do?
Put it in neutral
or park.
Yeah.
And just rev it up and see if you can hear
anything.
Anything.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. We'll talk.
We'll get right back to you.
I'll put you on mute.
All right.
Okay, we get rid of him. If only it were that easy.
Oh, yeah. But when he came back, he confirmed our worst fears that it did not make the noise in neutral, which led us to conclude differential.
Yeah, thousands of dollars.
I think this was the part of the call when Craig got kind of quiet, you know?
Yeah, but we found out he had a 30-day warranty from the used car dealer, so we told him to rush out to a Honda dealer, get a diagnosis and an estimate, and then boogie over to the used car dealer before the 30 days are up and ask him to fix it.
If they hadn't relocated. So let's see what happened. Craig, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Look, before you fill us in, can you confirm that we have not spoken since your last appearance on Car Talk?
We have not spoken.
And that the answer you're about to give us has not been influenced by our staff, the staff of NPR, or by the Bose noise-canceling headphones that we sent you.
It has not.
So, Craig,
wow.
Did you take it to the dealer?
I took it to the dealer, yes.
And what happened?
And they took one drive with me and said, "You bought this car?"
Oh. We were saying that ourselves.
Yeah.
No, they said it's definitely a problem in the transmission, and they said it needs to be replaced or it will go, and that's a very expensive replacement.
Oh, how much?
It was going to cost $3,000, I think. But the good news is, and I wanted to share this with you guys, is that they did a search on Honda, and apparently there was a manufacturing defect on this year's vehicle, and so they're going to replace it under warranty for no cost.
You lucky devil.
Well, I'm lucky I called because I wouldn't have known, and it would have, failed probably on the end of Timbuktu or somewhere.
Yeah.
So they're saying it was the well, it may have been the differential, but they said it was the transmission?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, everything's in the same box there, so they may have, I don't know how they... no, we don't know. We don't know for sure that this is right. We don't know for sure.
It could be either one if the noise is coming from...
That's good.
All right, good.
Excellent.
Yeah, I mean, the noise is coming from a certain place, and it could be either one from that place. When they take it apart, they'll know.
They won't even take it apart. They're just going to give you a whole rebuilt unit.
Yep, a whole new one.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this is a win-win because they're coming out, Honda is paying for the repair.
Correct.
Number one, you don't have to pay for it. And also the guy who sold it to you
is not going to pay for it.
Doesn't have to pay for it. However, he should be reprimanded for selling something that he knew was faulty. He had to have heard this noise.
It was quite loud, yeah. I would imagine he did.
Craig, need a dope slap
for buying it with that noise.
Hey, it all worked out in the end thanks to calling you guys.
You are one lucky guy.
I'm very lucky today.
Well, thanks for playing Stump the Chumps, and good luck to you.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye, Craig.
Take care.
If you hear someone you'd like us to bring back for Stump the Chumps, email us your suggestion from cartalk.com.
Or give us a call and stump us right now. The number is 888-CAR-TALK. That's 888-227-8255. Hello, you're on Car Talk. What a lucky devil. Hello.
Hi, this is Christy, and I'm calling from College Park, Maryland.
Hi, Christy.
Is it Christy I.E.?
No, that's with a Y and a K at the beginning.
Oh, get out.
Get out.
Why?
Like Krispy Kreme donuts.
That's crispy.
Crispy. Crispy. Oh, never mind.
Where
you
are
know
you
what?
from,
My
Christy?
parents call me Crispy, so.
Oh, that's College Park, Maryland.
College Park, Maryland, yeah. And I have a 2000 Suzuki Grand Vitara, and my problem is with my back window, whenever it gets foggy.
This is the tailgate window.
Yes, the tailgate window.
Yeah.
There is an impression of Jesus on my back window. And when the defogger takes forever to defog the windows, it takes him a long time to go away, and so he's kind of like staring at me from the back window.
Don't call us. Call the Vatican.
So is it?
I mean, to coin a phrase, what the hell do we know about that?
And that's where you're going. So we have. Is it a full Jesus or is it just Jesus' head?
It's his head and shoulders, and it's huge. It's like he is the entire height of the back window.
Well, you should first of all, you should take a photo of this thing, and you should send this into one of those magazines that they sell at the supermarkets, those tabloids, the Globe, the Inquirer. Maryland woman has Jesus in her window.
I thought about that too.
I mean, you might have some kind of a holy vehicle here. It might be worth a fortune.
Yeah, you may have. And if you had any accidents,
call the Vatican; they'll buy
it. So you can't clean the window.
I tried getting him off with Windex.
Yeah.
But he's still there.
Oh, you know why? Because he's between the panes of glass.
Oh.
But you mean to tell me that if you tried to sell it, wouldn't this look great parked outside of the Vatican?
But this only happens when you've electrified the window. Is that true? In other words, when you turn on the rear window defogger?
Well, it only happens when it's
cold.
like raining cold and it's foggy. And then when I put on the defogger, he goes away.
Oh, he does.
Right, because when that kind of glass, safety glass, is a laminate. There's actually two pieces of glass and a sheet of plastic, basically.
Okay.
And someone's playing with your mind, my
No,
man.
and I think it's going to be
between.
It's going to be a factory defect of some kind, or maybe, it's been there since day one, right?
Well, I got it used.
Yeah.
Maybe this is why the other guy sold it.
I know, maybe.
Yeah, and if you were speeding, for example, and you looked in your rearview mirror and you saw Jesus, you'd slow down, right?
Oh, Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually exactly what happened the first time he appeared.
Yeah.
Well, the good news is, if he's busy watching you, he's not watching us.
Oh, no.
And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's so good.
I think we need to have a picture of this. You think you can capture this?
Yeah, I think I might be able to.
Chrissy, has anyone else ever seen it?
Yes, my sister has.
She has.
Yeah?
And is she as crazy
Is she like
as
our
you?
sister? Is she?
You know, when I told my mom when I first saw it, I called my mom and I said, "Mom, Jesus is on my back window," and she wanted to call an exorcist. She was really fearful for me.
Oh, no. I mean, if you had my brother in your back window, that would be a reason to call an exorcist. But
Yeah.
but I think you might be all right with Jesus. That might be cool.
Okay.
But we need you to take a photo. If you can capture this with a photo and send it to us, we'd love to see it.
Oh, I'll do that.
Would it be all right if we put it up on our website?
Oh, definitely.
Great.
Okay.
I hope
I'll
so.
do that.
See you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
calling.
And we know you won't drive like us.
I know.
That's for sure.
See you later.
All right. Bye.
Well, it's happened again. You've wasted another perfectly good hour listening to Car Talk.